Hi, Mama. Welcome. Take a nice breath, or just take a moment at least to notice your breath. Ah, how is your breath moving through your body today? Do you notice any tightness or restriction? In just a couple of seconds, you can consciously redirect your breath from the more upper, shallow, tense, stress space of the body down deeper into your belly. We have a very important conversation to have today, and it is the one that is natural induction. And are we ever going to debunk this myth of natural induction? So here's the luminous birth perspective. And essentially, we're going to be really dissolving the illusion that we somehow have control over our babies, our bodies, our pregnancy, and more than that, nature. So, throughout pregnancy, there is obviously this concept, which is like the grand shadow that kind of, I feel, just encompasses our whole pregnancy period, which is around due dates. And this term obviously suggests that there's this definitive timeline for when labor should commence. And this whole notion, in seen and unseen ways, subtle and not subtle ways, noticeable and not so noticeable ways, actually creates a pressure system in pregnancy. And it leads a lot of people to seek methods to naturally induce labor. But it's really critical that we recognize that labor initiation is a physiological process that unfolds in its own time. More than that, it is magical, right? We actually we don't know what creates conception, right? We have thousands of years of Tibetan wisdom, and we have 500 years of embryology, and we still don't know how it happens. It is a miracle. It is total magic. And the same thing for birth. We don't know exactly what initiates labor. Sure, we have some ideas, but that's about it. The truth is, it's a mystery and it's magical and it's meant to be that way. Somehow the moon is in this phase, that planet is at this angle, and this planet's at that angle, and this star is here and that one's there, and the earth is tilted just like this, and the sun is in this zodiac sign, and this ornament is on the altar, and now the poppies are blooming, and all of a sudden, baby lets you know that they're ready to come. It doesn't make logical sense. It's not supposed to make logical sense. But one thing we do know is that there is a family constellation that exists here, and there are very important energetics and even dynamics in your relationship and in your body and in your life that need to come together in order to facilitate birth, and that are just so unique to your baby that they know exactly when to get born, and they know exactly what they need to have at their birth. And the energetics that are present are so part of who they are. Right? My grandmother tells the story about how when she was being born, the apple blossoms were like full. And to this day, she's in her 90s. This is my great grandmother. She loves apple blossom season. It's part of who she is. And we need to respect these things. So let's just understand this urge to induce, okay? So several scenarios commonly lead to individuals considering natural induction methods. That can be approaching or surpassing the due date, the anticipation and whole societal expectation that creates this sense of impatience. The mucus plug could come out, so loss of the mucus plug. And this event may be misinterpreted as an immediate sign of labor onset. Well, many things tend to follow from there. It's not a sign that things must start immediately. Rupture of the membranes, so the water breaks, right, without surges. So being careful with the language here. Rupture of membranes is a very medical term for the releasing of the waters, and of course, without contractions, without the surges, without the sensations that follow. So when there are concerns that have been posed by the medical system about the water breaking and then the surges, the sensations taking too long to start, right? They say that if the waters are broke, then there's more possibility for the introduction of infection and these kinds of things. So then you have the pressure from healthcare providers, right? You have recommendations for medical induction. If labor hasn't begun by a certain point, you're 41 weeks, and the doctor or your midwife say, if you're not in labor by 42 weeks, then we'll need to induce you. And these situations lead mothers to explore the various methods, believed to naturally initiate labor because they don't want to go through the induction at the hospital or they don't want to be put through a cesarean or whatever it is. It's coercion and it's sabotage. It's making a mom do something to instigate the labor before its natural, spontaneous emergence so as to not have to go through something else. These things aren't in accordance with her original innate wisdom. Okay, so with that said, some of the common natural inductions that women try and attempt can be castor oil. So castor oil is believed to stimulate the bowels and by proximity, the uterus. However, it can cause significant gastrointestinal discomfort and even hydration. These are not things that you want to be experiencing or should even be, getting close to when you're about to birth a baby. Um, Evening primrose oil, this is thought to soften the cervix, but evidence, of its effectiveness is pretty limited and it could actually prolong labor. Um, and then some people say spicy foods. So anecdotally, they're thought to stimulate labor, but more likely, more often than not, typically cause some heartburn. Acupuncture, acupressure. So some studies suggest potential benefits, but results are inconclusive. There's herbal remedies such as black cohosh or raspberry leaf tea. These should be used with caution, but these are some because they are powerful, powerful plants. And blue and black cohosh, for example, they kind of lack regulation, right? So um, these things are labeled natural, but they go against the natural order of pregnancy and birth, right? So they still are interventions. They are intervening and disrupting the body's innate timing. Now, other things could be nipple stimulation. So nipple stimulation releases oxytocin. We know this. And this could potentially lead to the surges of labor and birth to come on. Um, and making love, so sexual intercourse. Semen contains prostaglandins and orgasms release tons of oxytocin, and these can bring on labor. But again, what are the reasons and the intentions for why we are doing these things? If you are having sexual intercourse with your partner as this like somehow mechanical way to bring on labor, so there's an agenda, there's something, this is a very different thing than just naturally making love because you want to make love, because you are just celebrating your love and what this pregnancy represents, or just the natural, intuitive, innate desire, right? And these energetics are important. Um, and they bear influence, right? So let's just talk about the wisdom of waiting. So from a luminous birth perspective, we understand that labor begins when both the mother and baby are ready. There's this complex, mysterious interplay of hormones and signals that initiate labor at precisely the most optimal time. And intervening can disrupt natural processes. So, attempting to induce labor, even if you're using so called natural methods, can interfere with the body's preparation and the baby's readiness. And we know enough about imprints to say that, yeah, no matter what, there's this energetic and psychospiritual implication on the baby that is, you are trying to make them move faster than they want to. Okay. And that imprints them. That imprints them lifelong. So we see the importance of trusting the body's timing as paramount, okay, as most important. Patience and confidence in the natural course of labor support a more harmonious birthing experience. Every single step in the sequencing of pregnancy and labor and birth are critical, and every single step leads to the next one. So if we try to speed up or we skip a certain step, it always messes with the whole unfoldment. Okay. So if you want to have the most easeful experience possible, leave it alone. So instead of seeking to interrupt labor or speed it up, consider these practices instead. First and foremost, mindfulness and relaxation. Go to your meditation. Do some gentle yoga or movement or breathing exercises to connect with your body and your baby. Reflect on your journey, address any fears, and cultivate your peaceful, positive mindset. Enjoy these moments. You'll never get these moments back. Ensure that your environment is prepared for baby's arrival, right? That can provide peace of mind for you. Rest whenever you have the opportunity. You're about to go on a very big journey, and you need all the physical energy that you can get. Maintain open communication with your partner, with your family, with your supporters so that you feel supported. That is so huge, feeling supported. Knowing that life happens at perfect timing. Allowing someone to be a good listener for you if you want to express how tired you are, how fed up you are, how much you just want this baby out. Like having a space whereby you can express these things and no one tries to fix or solve. Like it's natural. You've been carrying this baby for 9 or 10 months. You're ready. And these are good signs. There's nothing to fix here. These are very good, healthy signs of a natural, healthy pregnancy. In these final days of pregnancy, just remember that this is a sacred time. There's all this anticipation. Your emotions are fluctuating, and you're having all kinds of new feelings as you approach this big portal. By releasing the urge to control the onset of labor and embracing the natural unfoldment of events, you honor the profound wisdom of your body and the unique journey of your baby. Remember, patience and trust is your most powerful ally in the realm of birth.